Hi, I'm Danielle Kelly. Welcome to another JPR Live Session where we get to have conversations with artists we admire and one-of-a-kind live in-studio performances. You can find JPR Live Sessions wherever you listen to podcasts and archived on the music page at ijpr.org. Today's session is made possible in part with support from the Talent Club in downtown Talent, Oregon, offering live music and cold drinks in a casual atmosphere. Find their music lineup at talentclublive.com. Today, my guest by way of Nashville, Tennessee is, quote, cosmic Americana, soul and blues singer-songwriter Cassandra Lewis, joined by special guests, Southern Oregon-based singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist Emily Turner on bass, and Bill Hefferman on harmonica from PDX. Cassandra Lewis is kicking off a West Coast tour in support of her upcoming album In Love and War. Batch of really great songs featuring the single American Sickness that has recently been released. This new release is an independent, full-length release following her critically acclaimed 2024 Lost in a Dream on Electro Low Country Sound Records, produced by Dave Cobb. No big deal, which spent time in the top 10 to 15 on AAA radio. Her debut, Independent 2022's Always, I always stumble on that title. I love it so much. Always earned her a #1 spot on Seattle's KEXP Americana chart, as well as a devoted fan base, even before and without a label. We have been spinning all of Cassandra's releases here on JPR and Open Air. We're so excited to have her here in studio today. Cassandra Lewis and her band, including Emily Turner, are performing tonight, Friday, June 19th at the Copper Plank in downtown Medford. Showtime is 8 o'clock. It's a 21 and over event. Find tickets and info at CassandraLewisMusic.com. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming in. I know it can be a tricky time on tour to make time, and we are sure excited to have you here. I would love to, if we could, jump into just a little history for our listeners. You have a really really cool factoids about your upbringing. One of which being that you grew up on a former World War II Army base in Nuremberg, Germany. Could you tell us a little bit about that chapter?
Well, I guess it was a pretty short chapter. I moved to the States when I was 3, so I born out there. My dad was in the Army, stationed as a medic. And then consecutively after that moved to 33 cities, which is now Nashville, Tennessee. So they've all been pretty short chapters in my 22 years of life.
Cool. So dad's a medic in the Army. What's mom doing at that time?
At that time, raising the 2 kiddos. And then, and after that, she became a nurse herself later.
And music is sort of what drove that train around all those different places. Were your parents musical as well? What was the pull and gravity to music for you?
I think it kind of started as as a reaction to just my lifestyle changing constantly. I mean, before I was 5, I think I lived in at least 4 or 5 different cities, and then after that, we sort of moved out of either poverty or necessity of jobs, following jobs, and whatnot. So. I found music around 8 years old and realized that I could, as a somewhat of the middle child's eldest daughter, get some much needed attention, and also just make people happy. I spent a lot of time in retirement homes and singing for elders and car shows and 4th of July fireworks stands and just all
how cool
stuff like that. So it just put a little gas in my tank to go and explore and see if I could expand that feeling.
What was starting at 8 and beyond? What were the earworms? What was the influences? What were you listening to that sort of was inspiring to you at that point?
There was a lot of Led Zeppelin, a lot of classic rock, Pink Floyd, from Pink Floyd to Patsy Cline, really, and you can hear it very much in what I do. My grandparents listened to classic 50s, and rockabilly. And then, my stepdad he had a massive CD collection. He was constantly ripping CDs into the computer and stuff. And so it was a lot of different genres. But so I got a pretty eclectic taste from a young age, and also grew up in rural Idaho, mostly southeast Idaho, until I graduated high school. And so there was always that country country bug in me as well. So
I don't know who came up with this description, but if any of you listeners are trying to, after this, describe Cassandra Lewis's sound, I don't know if you came up with like Dolly on acid, Janice on Jesus. And
that was me. Yeah. I'm sorry. No, I think it was a conglomerate. It was somebody else.
Well, very cool. Thanks for sharing all that with us. I think this would be a great time to start off with a song. What would you like to share with our listeners first?
So this one is off of Lost in a Dream, and I wrote it sort of as a love letter to myself that I'd never really get from this person. So it's giving myself the closure I knew I wasn't going to get. And it's called Some Kind of Love.
May I send you with some kind of love tonight for your journey? May I send you with memories and kiss you until you can't speak anymore? And if you don't mind, I'd sure like to dance with you here in my kitchen. Though we've been through some hard times, I love you, I'll miss you, and know that my door's always open for you. Door's always open for you. I have so much to tell you about how you've changed me for better. And I know that I hurt you, and I couldn't quite tell you the truth all the time. And I swore that I'd earn back your trust, so I wrote you that letter. And with each word a promise, my best friend, my lover is you. And my heart's always open for you. All that I need is a moment alone to build me up from bones like a garden of roses. And next time we meet, I'll be ready for you, dear. I need you like prayer needs a moment of truth, and my arms will be waiting for you. Oh, you, baby, yes, you. May I hug your neck and kiss your lips and send you with some kind of love.
Cassandra Lewis live here at Jefferson Public Radio with Some Kind of Love from Lost in a Dream. I think everyone in the room here's got goosebumps right now. What amazing, amazing voice. I think something that I read a lot, I hear a lot, I think every time we spin one of your tunes is, where is that coming from? Just otherworldly power from your voice. And dabbling in singing myself, I want to know, what is your routine? How did you become this, Arnold Schwarzenegger level singer? Do you have exercises that you do? And
Get to the gym. No, I'm kidding. I do not get to the gym. 10-10 don't recommend. No, but I had a great singing coach when I was young. I started early, but I found a singing coach in Rigby, Idaho, named Dee Epperson, and she had a lot more of a physical style with her teaching, and so I would often work on my diaphragm by doing planks, or doing a lot more visual things like expanding a balloon in your belly and having a tube coming out of the throat. Anyway, so it's a lot of stuff. And I later became a teacher as well, so that a lot of the power physically came from her teaching me how to really be physical with it and strengthen up the core. And I also wear 2 or 3 girdles at a time, so that it's got the so I'm real snatched. Okay, we're good to go here. We're tight waist, tight belly, can't breathe, can't eat. But yeah, in seriousness, it was a lot of that kind of early muscle memory and the physicality of singing as well, and sort of learning to float through the really powerful belting into the sort of lilting, operatic, sweet stuff as well. So it's a conditioning.
Do you experience people like falling over in the front row at your shows?
I've experienced myself falling over high altitudes, it turns out.
We can, I want to ask you a personal question. And there's a really cool album cover on one of your albums, and you're smoking a cigarette. You look like a real bad fatty. Do you smoke? And how does that play with stamina on tour and shows?
Yeah, well, it's a not everyday thing that I do, but it's kind of tough out there to not have some kind of vice. And I'm a very ADHD person as well, so having like some kind of thing I can just wind down and spend a minute with myself with. I'm not encouraging smoking by any means, and in fact I picked it up in Ireland, so I blame them. Yeah. But it's just kind of a thing that happens every now and then, and I'm a triple fire, Aries, Leo, Sag, so I feel like I need to always be burning in some way.
Yeah. What other kinds of rituals? I love asking touring artists. You guys are kicking off a tour right now. Mm-hmm. What kind of things do you do to stay energy up, mood up, well rested or not, or just what kind of rituals do you do on the road?
For me, I think I've learned that I was a real renegade little sucker for a while. I was a little rough on my body and myself, and had to take just a little break and reset, and especially getting a high profile record deal. There was no option for failure or being any less than pretty dang perfect. But now I realize that sleep is crucial. I think a little whiskey and a little cigarette isn't going to kill you. Or me, it won't kill me, at least at the moment. Don't quote me on that. But definitely sleep is the most important thing now. Little vitamin C, those little hydration packs. I won't say a brand because I think it's illegal to promote, but that's me. I'm Emily. What do you have? Emily's a pro though. She does all kinds of stuff.
I leaned a little too heavy on caffeine, I will say. That's my best friend on the road. I won't mention any names, but people who know me well know my beverage of choice at any old gas station is a caffeinated one. And yeah, I would say that, or definitely limiting alcohol intake for me was huge realization, both before the show, because I realized, I actually play quite better while sober, but it just, it's a negative feedback loop for me, before you know it, there's a drink before sound check, and then a drink during the show or two, and then a couple after, and then you're playing 4 or 5 nights a week. That doesn't feel good after a while, and so that avoiding that pattern and choosing water and caffeine instead has helped me a lot. But
to each their own.
Yeah, to each their own. I've definitely. I don't know if I recommend that either.
Yeah. Well, hey, switching gears, you've got this album coming up, and fun fact, it's independent. You're 100% independent, as your website says. I think your first debut release was independent. Then you had the record label. Mm-hmm. Now you're back to independence. Can you talk about that shift and how that happened and what that kind of means, what the gravity of that is?
Yeah. The first album was put together over the course of many years, and between construction jobs and live streaming during COVID, I finally was able to get enough money to finish Always Always, and then I got signed during COVID in a really strange way as well, found by Marco Collins, who was a famous, radio DJ up in Seattle. He discovered Nirvana and was the first to play Smells Like Teen Spirit on the radio. Super legend.
What's the weird story?
That's part of it.
Oh,
yeah.
great.
But the weird story is he introduced me to Bruce Floor, who is, Dave Matthews' manager and a handful of other legendary artists. And they wanted to meet me and met me. We sang, and then Bruce brought me down to LA to meet with Greg Nadel, who was at the time CEO of Warner. But apparently Greg did not know that I was meeting him. And we sort of just, it's also during COVID, so we couldn't go in the building. And I was just walking around the courtyard waiting for Bruce to come down with this guy so we could, sort of, what do you call that? Flash mob, whatever. I don't know. And so I was in the parking garage. I was like, it sounds so much better in here. Let's just do it in here. And so I was like, Bruce, bring him in here. So he talked to me for a bit, and he was, of course, surprised to see someone. He's like, Bruce, what did you do? What were you thinking? Like, man, this better not suck. And apparently it did not. I sang for him in the parking garage at Warner, and a couple weeks later, they reached out and said, Dave Cobb wants to meet you, like, now. So you're flying out to Nashville. And I met at RCA, and I got through one song, and he said, you didn't even have to sing. I was already going to sign you. So that's how that happened.
That's going to be a great first scene of your biopic when the movie comes out.
That's scene. I don't even know. Girl, I mean, wait for this. It's going to have to be a series.
Great
right?
scene.
Yeah, it will be one for, it's definitely a wild story. It has sort of attract chaos in very good ways and also really gnarly ways. And so that's where a lot of the inspiration obviously comes from, is just the weirdness of all of this.
And so now this record, you said you're producing yourself, you're doing a lot of the engineering as well, and obviously wrote and sang all the songs. Why have you gravitated back to being independent?
I mean, the industry is in absolute turmoil. Everybody all of the CEOs are panicking. They're trying to sort of merge everything that they can and kind of turn it into one big record label. So a merger happened with Elektra and 300, and then the new CEO that came in, who's the son of another prominent CEO of the biggest record label in the world, he took over and just gutted it and kind of told everybody, you're fired. 300 people without warning, and all the, most of the artists that were with those team members got just dropped, even without. I mean, I had just released the album. It was charting at number 10. The single was. So it was pretty. I was like, it's kind of working. I was on tour with Alan Stone, and we did a great chaos 6,000 miles following a tour bus tour, and that was pretty special.
There's another voice.
Alan's such a sweetheart. That's fam for me for sure. And then ended that tour singing with Willie Nelson on the Farm Aid stage, and then about a few weeks later I got dropped. So it was a tough year, actually. I had a lot of medical stuff going on, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to make this record. I know that a label wouldn't let me make it anyway because it's very off the sort of normal pathway for a label these days, especially. But it's super important to me. And so I decided I'm just going to do it myself. I'm going to, push through, fund it, apply for grants, talk to angel investors and try and get this thing out. And so it should be coming out.
Play it on public radio stations.
Yeah, play it on public. Yeah, that's my favorite.
Awesome.
Way.
Well, can we hear another one?
Sure.
Cassandra Lewis is my guest here in this Jefferson Public Radio live session. Emily Turner is joining on bass. They are playing tonight at the Copper Plank in Medford. Info and tickets at CassandraLewisMusic.com.
This song is called No Hell.
Well, this bed, it is haunted, but there's no soul to save. The spirits try to taunt me, but I've been to the graves of the brothers I've laid at my feet. Like a scripture, I love like I believe. Yes. Been to the deserts, I have prayed through the tears. You can bet I have nothing, not a dang thing to fear. But the silence that crawls through my room in the nighttime, my head is a tune. Yeah. Oh. And if you try to break me, you'd be better off dead. 'Cause you ain't the first ghost that I've had in my bed. No. And if you need someone to hold you while you cry,
That's Cassandra Lewis live at Jefferson Public Radio with No Hell, a song from her upcoming record. She's got some great guests joining her in concert, on tour, and tonight in Medford at the Copper Plank, including Emily Turner on the bass. Our listeners are very familiar with Emily in a multitude of projects through the years. Free Creatures being the most recent, Jared Masters Band, Once Upon a Time, Verbs and Nouns, the Turner Moore Band. I wonder how did you link up with Emily? How did you two powerhouses unite?
Oh, do you want to tell?
Oh, it was a cold, stormy night in Idaho, in Boise.
Yes, we met through some mutual friends, that just through the festival world, and then ended up realizing that we were probably related and twins.
And our first show together was for a knitting circle of elderly, cute little ladies in a bed and breakfast out in rural Idaho somewhere.
Yeah, near Trinity Hot Springs.
Yeah.
So we kind of linked up there, and we're like, oh, I like you. Let's play music sometime.
That
and
was
it only
like-
took us 10 years.
Yeah, that was like 10 years ago. And we were like, one day we're going to play together. And now look. Now look at us.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Now we're on tour, Hot Girl Summer.
Hot girl summer.
You mentioned earlier touring with Alan Stone, Charlie Crockett. Those are house names here at JPR. We've actually had both those fellas in here for live sessions. And Lucas Nelson for Farm, or we've had Lucas Nelson. You played with Willie Nelson at Farm Aid. Do you have any fun or memorable, notable stories from being on the road with those characters?
Well, I mean, Charlie's a hard man to talk to. He's busy. He's got a lot of energy. He's running around. So we didn't get a whole lot of interaction. But I did stop him on his way out for his encore and gave him a bottle of mezcal, and just to say thanks. I was like, man, you know what? You better get out there. But thanks, and please remember my name. But with Alan, I mean, I started hanging with Alan. I think my first show with Alan was in Portland, and then I got invited out to the Stone family field trip, which is super fun. He lives up in Spokane and throws this great party with incredible artists. Like Teddy Swims was there. That's where I met Teddy, and a lot of his band, like Briley, and such sweet people. And then after that, Bruce Floor, who obviously also manages Alan Stone, linked us up and got me on that tour. And so it was just really good times every day, like between hanging with the stage crew and everybody loading the trailers, to playing some really legendary spots, House of Blues, Chicago. We played a lot of ocean, coastal shows too, which was fantastic.
From a fan perspective, if you're following that on social media, it just kind of seems like that tour, the party never stops. There's music in every element of it. They're singing in their sleep, seems like. So
yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun.
Definitely.
I got to sing the encore with them every night, which was also really sweet. Just such a fantastic family to be a part of, and it was definitely a peak musical experience of my life.
Oh, how cool. Well, who's in your tour family on this run?
Oh my gosh.
Who-
It's so good. Oh, it's so juicy. I've always had sort of a rotating cast of band members depending on where I'm at, where I'm living, and also where I'm touring. It's really expensive to have a band and to make sure that everyone's fed and feels appreciated. So oftentimes I'll do a lot of solo stuff, and then if I do, I just have regional band members. But this one, we're importing some gals from Nashville. Katie Skeen, who actually is bi-coastal, incredible shredding guitar player and singer. Heather Thomas on drums, and she you may have known. Everyone seems to know Heather Thomas somehow, but epic drummer. And then of course we have Emily Turner on bass, and Graham Patzner, who is part of Whisker Man out of the Bay Area, and he's something. You're going to see a truly wild, incredible artist as well. So I think we have an 8-piece band at Oregon Country Fair in High Sierra. That's going to be a spectacle.
Wow. Very cool. Something I always like to ask artists is, especially going independent, you've mentioned, a couple of the sort of challenges of just being a musician in general. Magic wand, totally fantastical. Anything you could do, no limitations. What would your next musical dream be? What's the goal? No limitations.
No limitations. I really just want to not wonder where the next album is going to come from, like how I'm going to make that happen. I have so many albums written. It seems silly to say that, but I've got 3 more in the kitty ready to go. And it's just the constant oh man, how are we going to afford this? And okay, I've got to just do this amount of this show and do my TikToks and all of the things. And it's just, I would like, if I had a magic wand, easier access to be able to record. So I think my hope is to get just a solid studio built for myself and my friends, and start my own independent label after knowing what I know now. And it's sort of demystified it for me. So I think that's the next move.
Awesome. Cassandra Lewis and her Starlight Revelry, that's the name of her touring band, are playing at the Copper Plank in Medford tonight. You can find tickets and information at CassandraLewisMusic.com. Showtime is 8 o'clock. It is going to be a fabulous time. I think that's one of the best way to support independent artists. Go to shows, buy their merch, go dance along, sing along, buy their music, go check it out. There's a run of shows coming up. What are the, can you list again for our listeners? What are the ones that you're most excited about? There's High Sierra.
So we're doing High Sierra. We're coming back up for Lincoln City. Then OCF. We're doing main stage on both High Sierra and OCF. We have 3 sets at High Sierra. And then I'm throwing a little mini festival in the Bay Area July 18th called the Existential Dread and Circus. With Whisker Man, Graham Patzner from Whisker Man as well. So there'll be clowns and debauchery just to distract you from all that is wrong with the world.
Fabulous. Well, you can find the tour, more information at CassandraLewisMusic.com. You can also follow her on socials, Cassandra Lewis Music. We have time for one more tune. What would you like to play to wrap up with?
So this song is called American Sickness, and it's about the tightrope that we walk between our dreams and what we kind of end up having to do to survive.
And when the lights go down, there goes the cheering of the crowd. See your disappointed eyes when that Hail Mary hit the ground. She tried to calm him down, homecoming queen who lost her crown. She's really showing now that was their chance to leave this town. He took a job down at the sawmill for a nickel and a dime. It's time to bury that old dream now, boy, you're running out of time. The man who signed him up made promises so big it turned him blind. His regulation cut and a uniform, that boy did surely shine. Only God is my in this American sickness, only God is my witness. In this American sickness, he's living day to day on soldier's pay with a little mouth to feed. Obey and pay your dues and pray you're gonna get it back. He bleeds out for the promise of his freedom and a good life for his own. But all it takes is one missed shot, and then your baby don't come home. Only God is my witness. In this American sickness, only God is my witness. In this American sickness. The golden harp is singing, shining in the western sun. I swear to God there should have been enough for everyone. There is poison in the well that we are drinking from. We're past revival, it's survival. God, what have we done? God save the unborn, doom the mother, even if it don't come cheap, it's still a worthy life till it's born with bootstraps on its feet.
Bootstraps on its feet.
Forced to fall in line. Only God is my witness. Only God is my witness. In this American sickness. Only God is my witness. In this American sickness.
That's Cassandra Lewis live in the Steve Nelson Performance Studio here at Jefferson Public Radio. American Sickness, out anywhere you listen to music. It's part of a whole big record that is on the way, so stay tuned. CassandraLewisMusic.com is where you can keep track of that. Tour dates, new music. Thank you so much for coming in. That was incredible.
Thank you.
I think some of the paint is peeling off the walls, and we thank you for that. Emily Turner on the bass. We'll see the both of these artists tonight at the Copper Plank in Medford, 8 o'clock. You can find tickets and info also at the website, CassandraLewisMusic.com. Thanks again so much for coming in.
Thank you so much.
This session has been engineered by John Griffin of Luna Zen Studios, and live sessions are made possible in part with support from the Talent Club in Talent, hosting live music and cold drinks in a casual atmosphere in downtown Talent. Their live music schedule is at talentclublive.com. You can find audio and photos from the session on our website later today, and you can listen to this and all of our JPR Live sessions as well that are archived anywhere you listen to your podcasts on our website. I'm your host, Danielle Kelly. Thank you so much for listening to listener-supported Jefferson Public Radio. Open Air will continue right after this.